So my regrets would be not taking as much time to hang out with friends and stuff. My past 3 years I was really focused on academics and getting my work done and like maintaining my GPA and trying to just stay on top of all my schoolwork. But like seeing the end of high school approaching, I really wish I'd been more involved with like clubs or things like homecoming and multicultural week, which I didn't really participate in until this year. And I had so much fun, and I really regret not taking advantage of those opportunities like the past 3 years.
I think if I were to take my high school experience as a whole, one of my regrets, although I'm not feeling too bad about it, would be not joining cross country or track earlier. I came into it sophomore year and I really came to love it, and I think that I obviously could have improved a lot more if I joined freshman year, but I think even starting from sophomore year, my experience has been great. But another regret of mine would probably be not doing speech and debate, because I think I've been doing MUN, which is like debate, but I've been seeing debaters and I've been seeing how debate goes, and I'm really interested in like the topics they do, and I think I would have really loved it, and it would have been a great experience for me in high school, and hopefully in college I get that sort of experience. But yeah, I would definitely go back and try to start speech and debate freshman year.
Well, I don't know, I've been at the school for a pretty long time. I started taking classes here I think like 6 years ago. And I think like if I had a single greatest regret here, it was that I spent too much time like focusing on my classes and not enough on the people around me. And I know like a lot of seniors are going to say this, and it is kind of complicated because the time I spent on like the academic things that I did like helped me get where I am today. But at the same time, like I'm just now realizing how much I'm going to miss all the people I've spent my time here with.
I think peer pressure has a lot to do with how students perceive their levels of success, because they get into a mindset of comparing themselves to other people.
So peer pressure affects students' definitions of success because students might take a class that's too hard for them because their friends are taking it.
At the school specifically, a lot of people are academically centered, even though that may not be where their interest lies. So maybe some people who are more interested in sports could get peer pressure to trying to go into academics and not doing as well, and then kind of not feeling as well. So there's this kind of bad peer pressure that creates a lot of stress and hostility in this environment, but there's also good peer pressure on the school. The school has a lot of ability to create like small, tight-knit communities, which I really see, especially within the sports communities and within like small academic groups. It really helps you grow if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So there's definitely a lot of good and bad components to peer pressure at Mission.
Personally, I feel like since everyone I know is like so pressured to take like as many APs and weighted classes as possible, I kind of struggle to like to choose classes that that would like suit me, and I felt that it was a difficult decision because part of me wanted to like take the classes I enjoy and to have like a more balanced life, but then like another part of me wanted to kind of like be like everyone else and take like as many weighted classes.
I think although we all might not directly admit it, I think peer pressure certainly plays a role in the intensity of classes we take. So I think a lot of advice counselors and all give is that, take your year light. You want to have a really balanced lifestyle, 9 hours of sleep, etc. But because we all want to sort of strive to be the top of our class, strive to be specifically academically the best, we even I personally, I can admit, I tend to take harder classes, or everyone around me tends to take the hardest classes they can take, even if it may sacrifice a lot of aspects of their health. Peer pressure certainly plays a role in like the intensity and rigor of classes we take.
I think since a lot of people cheat at Mission, so everyone thinks it's okay to cheat, which makes it more likely for people to cheat at Mission. So that's how.
It's back into the previous thing, right? Like, because people think that their grades are everything. They think the world's gonna end if they get a B. And for a lot of these kids, like, they're not dealing with just their peers, they're dealing with their families, putting these pressures on them as well. So we can't completely chalk it up to peer pressure, but it's definitely a part of it where in a culture where people think that losing a few points is gonna be everything, you can understand the lengths they're willing to go to in order to avoid doing just that.
I think a good amount of people end up cheating or partake in any kind of academic dishonesty. You may be copying homework or cheating off a test, probably like 70 to 75% of students.
I think like from what I've seen, I think a lot of people at the school like cheat, not necessarily on tests, but like I've seen a lot of people sharing homework and discussing tests, I guess. And I think maybe around like 75% cheat.
I think if we were to take California as a whole, that'd be sort of surprising because it's very high. For Mission, I guess not, because I can understand our specific environment. But again, looking at California relative to other states' performances, we're a fairly like high-performing state, and I think that pressure sort of feels itself across the board, and I can see why so many kids have said they've participated in cheating.
Okay, like I believe that, and that's also the percentage of people who have admitted to cheating. And people really aren't going to admit to this as much. I definitely think the true percentage is going to be a lot higher. And we've seen that in different surveys. The Stanford survey that happened at this school, and our previous special coverage in the smoke signal for this exact topic, we found much higher numbers for this as well.